Hello, friends. This is Brain from GameBrain.media, and we are doing something new. I'm going to kick off a new series. I might do this monthly, and I'm calling it the GameBrain.media PC Video Game Talk Show. Uh, Clearly, I talk during my videos, and people have told me I talk too much. So, hey, guess what? A talk show is born. um, Whatever, dude. To those people who dislike the things I say about games. Uh, Too bad. And here we go. Let's see. Like I said, new series. I'm going to try to do genres. So if I do a racing genre in a conversation like today, that will probably lead to 4 weeks of me playing different racing games. Then I might jump into an open world style series for a month, like maybe Far Cry for a month, or Just Cause. I have a ton of games, and I haven't really forced myself to get through them. Generally, go through far enough that, honestly, I get bored with what I'm doing in the middle of what I'm doing. So, if a monthly talk show about racing leads me to play a bunch of racing games over the course of the month, well, racing I know has a ton of different varieties, like motocross, supercross, mud runners, snow runners, go karting, Indy cars, Formula One cars, GTR racing, retro racing. There's just so many different varieties of racing games. Wreckfest, flat out, just insane, silly stuff. Grid and what's the other one? Like Grid. It's one of Need for Speed. The arcadey stuff. But then again, I consider Dirt kind of a arcade game. You can make it hard, and when I'm playing, I'm usually trying to make it easy so that I can actually get through something. Right? Here we go. I've got Grid, Grid 2, Grid Autosport. I haven't finished any of those games as like start to finish. Right? Assetto Corsa, well, there is no start to finish there. It's a completely moddable game. However, Assetto Corsa Competizione, I think you can jump into that game, do some practice, run a season, and poof, you've essentially completed a season in a specific kind of car, and you can call that good. You can call that complete. Now, Assetto Corsa, yeah, I guess you could do the same thing with a specific type of racing car, and call that a done deal. But like Baja Out of Control, where do you classify that? Automobilista and Paradise Ultimate. It's kind of an open world racing game, right? Colin McRae Rally. That's different than Dirt 3. And where the hell are my Dirt 1 and Dirt 2? Did I have those in? Uh, I probably had those on CD or DVD, and never repurchased them on Steam because they just weren't. It was fun. It was a departure from other racing games at the time. But just you carry on with the theme here, right? Get down here, and I have Kartcraft. I also have a ton of Supercross, and let's see, Motocross GP. Yeah, MXGP. So motocross, Supercross, off-roading game like Mud Runner. There's another weirdo like here, this off-road drive, dude. I need to throw this into the queue because that game is stupidly fun. Project Cars 1, 2, and 3. Those all exist. NASCAR. Now, NASCAR 13 apparently was the all-time favorite of all the nerds who are really NASCAR nerds, and I'm not. It's fun once you start playing the game, but I don't watch NASCAR on weekends. It ain't my thing. Anyway, NASCAR 2013 apparently was the bomb diggity for all the total NASCAR nerds at the time, and then they started releasing the Heat series. Now, I don't. Clearly, there must have been a Heat 1 and 2. I didn't have those. I came in at Heat 3 because it was on sale for $5. I'm like, let me give it a shot. Well, that was fun. Then NASCAR 4 went down to $5 because NASCAR Heat 5 got released, and so I bought that for $5. Or maybe $9 or $7 or whatever. I put things on my wish list in Steam. If you go to the store, go to the wish list. Ta-da! I got a bunch of crap currently on sale that I'm waiting for. Am I going to drop $2 for the Tony Stewart All-American? No, I've not been playing the hell out of this game. And honestly, the cars that are in there are pretty damn good. Oh, it's the Las Vegas track. I really hate DLC. I think every gamer on the planet hates DLC. We despise it with a burning frickin' passion in our soul. But maybe that's just me. Maybe everybody else is cool with, hey, I could pay $20 for a game or $40 for a game and not get all the content. Yay, what a great deal. So I think everybody's on the side of we hate DLC. It's a money grab. Everybody just freaking despises the way. Now, if it's a year later and they come out with something like, hey, we didn't think of this in the first place, but here's some really, really cool new stuff. And instead of rebuilding an entire game and selling it to you for, $59.95 or $49.95, $49.99, we're going to sell the DLC to you for, $8, $11. But it's a whole new chapter added onto the game rather than selling us a game for, 30 or 40 or $60 and then charging us through the nose for another $10, $20, $30, $40, $60 worth of DLC. I'm not going to name names, but there are plenty of examples where y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know, well, in your genre, right? I'm in the racing genre, but it happens in the RPG genre. It happens all over the place. So, well, hell, I am off to one hell of a start for a GameBrain.media PC video game talk show. For this Season 1, Episode 1, we are talking about racing games. And like I said, I am not just a one-trick pony. I can't just play the same shit different day. I can play Mud Runner for a while, and then I'm bored out of my mind, and I got to go be Batman. So, like, right now I'm playing Batman Arkham Asylum. I'm also running through the Homeland Revolution game a second time. I just ran the Homeland first-person shooter. I guess I would call it a tech demo. They were selling it. It was dirt cheap. It's a 4-hour game. Realistically, it's 4 hours. But there's 4 characters. Well, I'm sorry. It's a 4-hour game that includes 4 characters, and then they offer you some free DLC, so you can complete. You're playing as character 1, but then they have free DLC that you can complete the storyline of character 2, character 3, character 4. Honestly, it's built on the Unreal Engine, and Homeland is a fantastic game. It's a great diversion. It's something you can jump into. You get tired of fucking racing, or you get tired of killing dragons in Skyrim, or chasing demons in Witcher 3, or whatever your thing is on the outside of racing and Batman. And if you're a first-person shooter, I highly recommend Homeland. And then, so like I said, Homeland was a tech demo. It's a first-person shooter built on the Unreal Engine. A development company built it, and then they tried to pimp it. Right? They went out trying to say, hey, who wants to be our publisher? We're going to make this awesome game. Here's our demo. It has some kind of history. You can go to YouTube and you can look up Homeland history. And you're going to find a video by a guy who is kind of like got some contacts maybe in the industry, or maybe he just read about all the articles. I didn't read all the articles. I just saw Homeland was cool. Oh, look, here's Homeland Revolution. What the hell? This is a very different game. It's the same premise. North Korea invades the United States, and you are a first-person shooter rebel. You are not the rebel leader intentionally, but you become kind of the rebel leader, or the hero of the rebel forces. So, really great game. I highly recommend Homeland and Homeland Revolution. They go on sale dirt cheap. Put those on your wish list, and when they go on sale, man, buy them. And then when you get bored of racing and you just got to go shoot something because you lost a race or for whatever reason, you got something to play, something fun to play. So let's see. Going through my notes, the GameBrain.media talk show, Season 1, Episode 1, is a new series that I'll be running monthly. Might lead to a month of genre, a month of gaming in the genre of the monthly talk show. And let's see, 4 weeks of gameplay with different genres within, or different games within the genre, or not. I don't know, dude. Like for racing, look at all the different directions I could go. I could do arcade stuff like Need for Speed Shift. That's what I was trying to think of. I thought I had Shift 1 and 2, but there's Grid 1, 2, and Grid Autosport. And then I have some old throwbacks: GT Legends, GTR 2, the GT Power expansion for Race 07. Oh my God, Race 07. I could do a whole month on just different go-kart racing games. But honestly, I would get bored with that. You would probably get bored with that. But it's worth doing. Maybe I just need to figure out. Maybe I'll do one. After maybe 6 months of exploring my favorite genres. Um, hmm, that's pretty interesting. After a month of exploring or after a few months of exploring my favorite genres, which I would categorize as, let's see, did I write that down? No, I did not. Um, yeah, I would have to say that's going to be racing, first-person shooters, RPGs such as Skyrim, Witcher, Elder Scrolls, um, a lot of things that aren't on Steam, that are only available or that I picked up through the Epic Game Store or Origin or Ubisoft. Or it really is tedious that everything got broken up. It's like you used to subscribe to cable TV, but you paid $100 and watched four favorite channels or six favorite channels, and now they want you to pay $15 for every, or 10 or $15, basically for your five or six favorite channels. And you still have to, but now you have to subscribe to six different services. But you're saving a couple of bucks. You're saving the $40. Anyway, continuing to scroll down this list, you can see that I could spend a month. I could spend 6 months, or I could spend a year. I could do street bike racing games, dirt bike racing games. There it is, Shift 2 Unleashed. It's just not labeled as, let's see, Shift, Need for Speed Shift. It's called Shift 2. So it's in the S's, whereas Need for Speed Shift is under the N alphabetically, as these are listed. Anyway, you got Ride 4. You have Ride the game. Let's see. R Factor 1. Oh my God. We haven't even gotten into the possibilities of modding. We don't want to mod games, but you can download cars and tracks created by people who make modifications that are add-ons, like free DLC, dude, to R Factor 2, R Factor 1, Race 07, so many other games. Let's see, MX versus Reflex, I believe, or MX versus ATV has user-created tracks. So you have to delve into, it's not in the Steam Workshop, you have to delve into the world of user-created modifications for your favorite racing games. They exist. They're all over the place. It's easy. If you're a gaming nerd, a lot of times you're already going to know this. If you're a noob, you may not know that, but you're going to learn it and you're going to love it. All right, so blah, 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 blah. Lead to some genres, 4 weeks of gameplay, different games or not. I'm going to get bored during some of the racing, and I'm just going to either check out and go play Batman for a while, but I might be willing to stream that, although it's going to be a one-off episode in the middle of a Batman game. Same thing with Homefront: The Revolution. If I get down to the like maybe the final episode, like, oh my God, I'm regarded as the superhero, the savior of the revolution, currently, and I don't like that in the game Homeland Revolution. But the people have beset me with getting the doing the impossible missions, putting a brain box into, oh man, what's the name of that stupid? It's like a big tank. It's a all-wheel drive tank. It's super fun game. I mean, I'm loving it, but I will get bored in the course of a month. However, it's hard to get bored with racing when you can switch from cars to wave runners to street bikes to go-karts to supercross to MotoGP, or street bikes and ride, or just free driving in what's this game called? Paradise Ultimate. Burnout Paradise, that's it. And then, Grid, you can go do some monster truck racing in Monster Truck or Monster Jam. You can do, let's see, yeah, I already said street bike, but, the Isle of Man is a different street racing animal altogether. You can do dirt tracks, circle racing in Legends cars, or what are those other cars called? There's an add-on to the All-American Racing. Late models. You can do late models. Man, running sideways around a dirt track is something I never thought I would enjoy, but I love it. You can go rock crawling with pure rock crawling. Riptide GP is, again, a different Wave Runner game than this Wave Runner game. You can run off-road rally racing. Guess what? Inside Dirt 3 and Dirt 4, you can run trophy trucks. You can run rally. You can run auto or dirt cross, or what do they call it? What the hell do they call that? Rallycross, yeah. Dude, it's a combination of asphalt and dirt. It's just the most stupid fun there is to be had in video game racing. Then, of course, there's gravel. Very arcade, but, it's got its own flavor. It's got its own style. It's its own thing. Then you got Flat Out. Flat Out 2. Oops. Oh, that's Flat Out Ultimate Carnage. I think that's a mobile game or a console game that got ported over. Flat Out was the most ridiculous fun hillbilly off-road redneck racing you ever done. Then Flat Out 2 and Flat Out 3 follow in the same vein, right? You're kind of like the Dukes of Hazzard in a variety of different racing styles. Not just circles and not just dirt tracks and not just running through the woods like moonshine. Running moonshine. Oh, and then, of course, there's Formula One. Holy shit. See, I got Formula One 2010, and it was okay. It was fun. But I had Formula One cars in every other game that I owned, like R Factor 2. Eventually, what's it called? Eventually, probably Assetto Corsa. I honestly have just not got a hell of a lot of interest in Formula One open wheels. Now, for a period of time, I did. Back in 2010, I was first getting into it. I probably had just bought my G27 and my shifter, and I was down for it, dude. And then, of course, the next year came out, and the next year, and the next year, and the next year, and it's like, really? Every year you're going to try to bleed me for $40? No, thank you. So I skipped 12 years, and I still don't have the latest version I don't have F1 2022. I don't even know if it's out. I kind of really don't even care. But I probably even waited for Formula One 2010 to become half price. And then, let's see, what else is there? Well, there's silly stuff like Lego Racing, Mini Motor Racing, Mario Racing, varieties that fall into the mix. Here, RC Simulations. Got a couple of these. I have rarely played. Oh, Simple Planes, that doesn't really belong here. Let's move that from racing. I mean, yeah, it does acrobatic racing. Oh, good lord. We have snowmobile racing. Are you kidding me? We have trails and trials bikes. What is this? Trackmania is really bizarre. It's kind of like Hot Wheels. Test Drive Unlimited. Oh, Stock Car Extreme. Stock Car the Game. Stock Car. There's a lot of stock car beyond this particular game that came out a really long time ago. The STCC and STCC2 games are tied to the Race 07 franchise, as is GTR Evo, which is up there in the alphabet somewhere. Anyway, I hope you get what I'm pick up what I'm throwing down, right? There's just a ton of racing to be had. A lot of interesting stuff. Oh, hey, Soul Piper, what's up? Entered the chat in Twitch. So, in summary, and as an exit to this video, which I wanted to make kind of short so people actually watch it and see what I'm going to be up to, I'm kind of going to do a monthly Season 1, Episode 1, and even though this is still technically December, I'm going to call this 2023 that this began. The talk show format began in 2023. So this is let's call this my January inaugural January 2023 episode, and I'm going to spend a month in exploring video games, and maybe after a month I'll decide that, hey, I'm still having a wicked good time exploring the depths of my racing collection. And before I check out, I kind of wanted to show you this. If we go to my profile, there you go. Level 15, 17 years of service. I've been on Steam for 17 years. So what is that, 15 years? Or I'm sorry, 17 years. That goes back to, I don't know, what the hell? How come I can't do math anymore, dude? 2022 minus 17 puts me back at some number that I can't do math anymore. I've become so reliant on calculators and my tape measure. I was a carpenter, so we did a lot of shit on our tapes. But anyway, been around a long time, have a lot of games. Let's see, what do I have for games? What does it say? I have 535 games. What the hell am I going to do with all those? You know, when you go look at my entire game collection, it doesn't do that. Well, it does, but it puts it in a linear format. And, it doesn't give me the mosaic of, let's see, let's get rid of the racing part. All games? You don't get I don't get to do that? Let's see. Dynamic collection, close. Shit. I don't want recent activity. I don't want only games that are installed and ready to play. I want to uncheck that. Oh, that's really odd. I can't get out of here and look at all games. There we go. So, yeah, with regard to all games, it's still stuck on racing. There we go. Okay, I see. At the top, we have racing as a sort by alphabetical. If we get rid of, oh boy. Okay, let's not dick around with this. I don't want to upset the apple cart, but there we go. All games, sort by, last played. Let's sort by alphabetical. All right, so I have more games than I know what to do with, right? 400 for 500 and something games. Oh my God, Alice Madness, Madness Returns is the most bizarre game you'll ever play. The Aliens games, I don't know, man. You really got to get into them. You got to be in a mood or really be hardcore down with that. It's unfortunate the Amazing Spider-Man game is no longer available, but I have the entire Assassin's Creed collection after having played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But man, I'm still not done. Well, I guess I finished the main story in Odyssey, but there's a million more things that I could do in that world. I could just keep putzing around in there for ages. Here we have Aquarium Designer. That's like when I'm tired of racing and I just want to chill, I go make an aquarium, or I just go watch my fish for 5 minutes and then I'm done with that. That game didn't hold my interest for a really, really long time. Then we have the entire Batman series is something, I'm kind of a weirdo. I like to collect all the games of a game that I liked, and I really liked freaking Batman. This Batman Enemy Within, that's a Telltale series. It's like the storybook game. BioShock, man, it was really bizarre and weird and wondrous when I first started the game, and then they put out remastered, and I think you got that for free just by owning the old one. Hiccups. Same thing with BioShock 2 and BioShock Remastered, or BioShock 2 Remastered. I believe those were just free upgrades. And then I got BioShock Infinite, but I never finished BioShock the original. At some point, I just got, this is like the same shit over and over and over, and I'm kind of bored with it. There were some puzzles, and maybe I wasn't playing on easy mode, so it just was like I had to try a couple of levels a couple of different times, and it just became laborious and tedious, and I got bored with it. I quit playing it. But I know that it's a remarkably reviewed game. Billions of people love it. Now, Blood Rain, oh, total different thing. I bought Blood Rain 2 like on some insane sale, $1.99 or something, and I'm like, wow, this game is sick. I liked it. But then I tried the other stuff, and I never got past like 5 or 10 minutes in those. Borderlands I've owned, but I've never, I tried it. I watched a video on YouTube. It was like $1.99 or some stinkingly cheap price, and I went for it. Obviously, I have all the Call of Duties, any of the Call of Duties and Battlefields that I don't have here in Steam. I do have in Battlefront or I don't know, wherever they went to, Origin. The great breakup of all of the Steam video game monopoly. Which, I don't know, is it good or is it bad? It's good because maybe in some cases competition reduced pricing, but in other cases it increased pricing and splintered my collection. There's a game, or there's a website called GOG, Good Old Games, I think. And they have a product. It's purple, the interface. You'll find it. If you go to Good Old Games, they have a tool that you can put in your username and password for Steam, Origin, Epic, GOG, and Ubisoft. And it puts all of your games into a single interface. However, their first choice, if you choose to add some DLC to your game, will take you to their game store inside of their game browser. Okay, fair enough. I'm smart enough to bounce out to a browser and go shopping at every other site to find where's this game most affordable, and that would be on isthereanydeal.com. I'm not an affiliate. I don't make a penny from anybody. I'm just telling gamers, go to isthereanydeal.com to see the historic price levels at different gaming stores, since the gaming store situation has splintered and there are multiple sources. Another source is CD Keys, CDKEYS.com. You can go there and buy a CD key that you just put it into Steam or you put it in Epic, and voila, that game is added to your library. And it may have been steeply discounted. Here we go, looking at the Crisis series. Oh, man. So many games I haven't finished, man. I would like to jump into a good euchre game, but I can't remember how to play, man. I played that in high school constantly. It was a drinking game. I don't know how we turned euchre into a drinking game, but we did. Conan I played a good bit of, but then it became, what's that game? Ark. It's like Ark, man. You really got to dedicate your life to that game for a while. Now, the Darkness. I jacked around in the Darkness, or no, Darksiders. No, Darkness. I don't know, man. Dark Messiah, that was kind of funky. I just have a ton of games that I've tried and never finished, or games that I've downloaded and never tried. DC Universe is a free-to-play game. Got a lot of zombie games during the zombie peak, and I just wasn't interested anymore. Rebought a bunch of the Crisis games because I had Crisis on CD or DVD, and then I got Crisis 2. Well, yeah, then I got Crisis 2, and then Warhead came out. So then I went and bought Crisis on Steam so that I could get this and have it in digital, and all my games in one place, simple, easy download. Even when I moved from one computer, an old computer to a new computer, from an old house to a new house, I don't have to carry boxes and boxes filled with CDs and reinstall stuff and risk having a CD that's scratched and jacked up. You know how it goes. Oh my god, and we're only halfway down this list. Dragon Age. So that goes along with like the Skyrim RPG period of time where I started playing dragon games and I bought some. And anytime something from Skyrim, similar to Skyrim, like Dragon's Age or we're going to get there. There's more down the list. Came available. They were on my wish list. They were dirt cheap. I bought them. I knew that I'd put them in my library and eventually get around to playing them. Now, here's Final Doom. Here's Original Doom. Here's Doom DOS or Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom... Blah. So, I do like those retro games. Um, Again, I would put flat out in the retro gaming category. Farming Simulator. I mean, that was fun for, you know, 3 hours, and then I realized, man, you got to dedicate your life to this. Just like golfing. Golf Club, stupidly fun. I really enjoyed that. And Golf Club 2019. Hey, it's an updated version. Not much changed. There was no point in buying from one to the other. I mean, they changed maybe a little bit of the controls that people complained about or didn't like or whatever. Um, then, of course, there is the Grand Theft Auto series, right? I got Vice City. I believe I thought I had them all, but apparently this is all I got, and that's more than enough. I've played Grand Theft Auto 5, 4, and 3 to completion. Have not completed Vice City, Liberty City, or San Andreas. In fact, I'm trying to remember who this guy is. Oh, yeah. Yep. Nope, I didn't finish Grand Theft Auto 3. I finished, this is Grand Theft Auto 5 is legendary. Grand Theft Auto 4, here it is, Liberty City. That's the Russian guy, right? Yeah, that ugly Russian motherfucker who moves here and hangs out with his slimy ass cousin. Yeah, what a evil game. I hate that game. I love to hate it, or I hate it, but I love it. You can't not love it. You know what I mean? And then of course Half-Life. Wow, that's totally throwing things back. Half-Life led to Counter-Strike, and Counter-Strike led to Team Fortress, and yeah, yep. Gun led me to Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead. Well, I only own Red Dead 2, but I ended up watching Red Dead Redemption version 1 on somebody's Let's Play on YouTube because I wanted to see the whole thing. I ended up picking up the entire Half-Life collection here. In real life, I had Half-Life, the original disc, and then eventually I picked up the orange disc. I bought two of those and I gave one to my cousin so that we could jump online and play together. And let's see, that came with a bunch of weird extra stuff, but then I just wanted to have everything in a digital collection. So if it went on sale cheap enough, I picked it up. Hitman, oh my god. I fell in love with the newer version of, let's see. Yeah, it's one of the Hitman that I own in my Epic game store. So I ended up backtracking and buying all the Hitman stuff because it was on a deeply disc. It's always on sale, dude. Never ever ever buy a game that's not on sale. That's pretty much my rule of thumb. And then here's a total sideline offshoot. Home Design 3D. Honest to God, you could spend hours in there, and I have. I designed a tiny home in that game. I thought that it had cloud saves. It does not. So that incredible tiny home that I built is on a different PC somewhere buried for eternity. In a garage or a basement of my parents or my storage unit or God knows what. And then here we go, Homefront. Okay, for the last 2 weeks I played 5 hours in the game, but let me bounce in there. I've played 11 hours overall, and that's 2 playthroughs. So that's about 5.5 hours to do a playthrough. Stupidly good game. In the last 2 weeks, I've played 15 hours of Homefront: The Revolution with 40 hours overall. So my first playthrough was probably 20 hours. I'm closing in. I'm about 80% through the game right now. So I'll probably pump another 5 hours in here and get that done. I Am Alive. That was a really cool game. Kartcraft I just picked up yesterday for $12. Yeah. Okay, now Kartcraft, and we're going to get into that with the, this isn't really the racing series. This is kind of, I'm going to call this the inaugural kickoff announcement. And then maybe in January I'll do episode 2 or episode 2023, season 1, episode 2023 as a January kickoff for just non-stop racing. I'm going to be doing a buttload of racing for the next month, I think. And Kartcraft I picked up because that's part of it. For me, let's see, racing went Well, if you go to iRacing, you're going to start off in the Mazda MX-5 or Honda Civics, I think. I did iRacing for a while, but long before that, I had played Need for Speed, Grid, um, the other one, Shift, arcade racing stuff, and then I got into Live for Speed. Now that goes way back. You can go to a website, liveforspeed.net, I think it is. You'll find Live for Speed, LFS. It is a very good simulator with archaic graphics. It's a throwback. It's retro racing, but it was one of the best sim racing games there was, and that goes back to the days of R Factor 1. R Factor 1 is a fantastic retro game. Had a lot of go-karts in it that I don't know, I've just kind of become enamored with go-karts this week. I've played them in the past, but Kartcraft, and that's where I was going, is acclaimed for its really good graphics, really good modeling, but also that you have really good single player competition. The AI is very good and it will race like you race, and you will be hard put to win. That's just from the reviews that I've read by other YouTubers. So there's that. And then there's another game, and I'm going to do a whole series on the kart portion of or of video game racing, and that is oh God, what's it called? Karting Pro Sim Karting Pro. I can't remember, but we'll get to that. That is a game that has online only racing, so you might go out there and turn laps by yourself. You might start an online session and nobody else is playing, so you're just going to be running laps all by your lonesome. That's what I want with Kartcraft. I'd rather play with some robots than randos on the internet who aren't your friends and just want to play demolition derby instead of actually racing. Now, that may not be the case in Pro Kart Sim or Sim Kart Pro. I think that's what it is, Sim Kart Pro. I don't know. R Factor has Kart Sim as their DLC. Kart Sim is like $20, and then you got to buy another car, and then you got to buy another track, and then there are some mods that are free from the user community in that kart sim genre of RF2, because R Factor 1, it was the most open and moddable game of all time that I am aware of with regard to racing games. And then we've got R Factor 2. And they tried to follow that model, but it became, it's an elevated engine. It has more intricacies, more capabilities. So modding was more difficult, and not many people frickin' modded for RF2 initially. Obviously, the platform has matured. It's been around for years now, but I shied away from it because I was used to R Factor 2 or R Factor 1 and a plethora of available cars and mods and even trucks and trophy trucks and dirt tracks and rally and you name it. R Factor 1 had it. Go-karts, everything. Everything. It was awesome. Well, I mean, they did new rock crawling and off-road grid or off-road stuff like spin tires and motor. But anyway, continuing down the list, we have Lara Croft, and there's Tomb Raider further down. I have the entire series. I've played every one of them. Also, Left 4 Dead 2, or Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Great games. Now, I've collected all the Legos because they go on sale for $4 or $5. It's just ridiculous how cheap you can get the Lego games. Put them on your wish list. And because I'm a Batman fan, I got 3 Batmans and a couple of, or this Marvel. Oh, I thought it was Avengers. No, just as superheroes. Then the Lego movie was kind of funny. And I picked up Lord of the Rings. I was going to gift that to my kid, but I ended up putting it in my own damn library and forgot to click the box. And Max Payne 1, 2, and Max Payne 3. Spectacular series of games. So just running down the list here, I missed several. Mass Effect, yeah, highly reviewed, great reviews, but I couldn't get into it. I got to a certain point, and it's just so slow, dude. If I could put it on double speed play and get through that narration, I don't need to listen to somebody, be dramatic and talk like this. John, have you considered talking to your friend and try to make up and take them out on their event? Shut up, dude. that kind of gaming and that kind of narration or in-game voiceover crap is like mind-numbingly irritating to me because I'm a weirdo. But anyway, of course, there is Medal of Honor, similar to the Call of Duty stuff. Metro, really dystopian, gross, end of the world scenarios. Don't care for that much. I've tried some of the flight sims. I even bought a yoke, a joystick and a yoke, and that's I'm not a pilot. So if I ever went on a flight and the pilot died, I'm probably not your guy. I mean, honestly, I can get them up in the air, but I roll them or I crap. I do something in midair that jacks me up. If I can get through just an takeoff and circle around, and I can come in for a landing, but at some point I try to bank too far and I just do a barrel roll, and suddenly the plane is careening towards the ground, and game over. Yeah, Mortal Kombat. There's a bunch of fisticuffs games, pugilistic games that are out there, and they're fun. Um, like I said, I pick up random crap when it's like dirt cheap. If I find any game under $5, I'm probably gonna buy it. My rule of thumb is $1 per hour of gaming pleasure. So for Mortal Kombat, if I play 5 hours in that game and I paid $5, that would be worth it. It paid for itself. It entertained me for 5 hours, and now I can throw it away and never play it again, and I won't care. Now, like I said, I got a ton of games here. I think my total price tag for Steam, I did the math once. You can go up here to your user account and look at your account details. In your account details, well, shit, is this going to expose anything? I don't think so. View purchase history. Yeah, my old gamer name used to be AMA King because I was a video game racer playing Motocross Madness 1 and 2, and I made race tracks as AMA King. And for a long time, I just played AMA King, and then I changed over to GameBrain.media. So anyway, if I look at my purchase history, yeah, you can see that I just bought Cartcraft, $12. It was $11.99, but then 75 cents sales tax. So if you go all the way to the bottom, then you can hit load more transactions. And you can scroll all the way down to my very first purchase on Steam. Yeah, was in 2008. So 2008 to 2018 is 10 years. 2018 to 2022 is 4. So 14 years. Although it says 17 years of service. So I must have signed up and maybe signed up because I had Half-Life. I don't know. This doesn't add up. As far as 17 years of service, unless I'm doing my math wrong, 2008 to 2018 is 10 years. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It should only be 14 years of service, but it's got me down for 17 years of service. Maybe I signed up and just never bought a game for the first 3 years that I was on Steam. Anyway, I went to my purchase history and I added up all 535 games. Yeah, 535 games. And I believe that I have paid over, well, they say 17 years, but since my first purchase, it's only been 14 years. I believe I've spent 3,600 or 3,700, maybe 3,750 with some recent purchases. 3,750. Right? So if we go, I'm estimating on the high side. 3,750 divided by 14 years. I spent about $267 per year on games. Wow. Wow. Well, there was a period of time where I was making money and had some kids in the house, and we all played on one computer and shared it. That may or may not apply here, but do I play 267 hours of games per year? Yeah, I probably do. I guarantee I do. Hell, one year I played 700 hours in, yeah. I played Fishing Planet about 2 hours every single morning before work. I'd get up, have coffee, go fishing, go to work, and I did that for at least a year. So that'd be 700 hours just in Fishing Planet for 1 year. Here it's 267 hours per year as an average. That's a thing. Anyway, here we are. Come on, go away. Go back to the library. Man, I got tons and tons of Supercross and motocross games that I haven't finished. MotoGP game, 2013, 2014. I haven't finished them. I ran a bunch of races in them. It was fun. Then it was over. NASCAR stuff, I've dabbled. Um, let's see, I told you I played all the frickin' Tomb Raider games. Arcade junk like Pure. It's an okay game, but I like shooting pool. I've played several hours playing darts and pool on here. Oh my god, the original Wolfenstein, dude. Retro gaming, I'm telling you. That's where it's at. That is so much fun. If you haven't played old stuff, I highly recommend you do it. Rune, another old classic. And Road Redemption, that's a remake of an old Road Rash game, right? And then we got Ride. Here we have a Rise of the Tomb Raider, Rise of Flight. We're getting towards the end. Yay. Good lord. Oh, I am a sniper supreme, dude. Sleeping Dogs ranks in my top 10 games. That to me is right up there next to GTA 5. It is an absolute masterpiece. It is fantastic. Fisticuffs instead of guns. But it's Grand Theft Auto with karate instead of guns. Or yeah, that sums it up. All right, Sniper Elite. Oh, I love the whole series except Sniper Elite 1 was laborious. I did not. I got 106 minutes in it. I played an hour and a half basically, and just was like, I've had enough of this crap. But Sniper Elite V2, I played the whole game, finished that in 7 hours. Now see, there's where things didn't balance. Probably, I might have paid $10 for the game, and I played 7 hours. But I'll probably replay that at some point in my life because I love the sniper games, and I will return to them. Sniper Elite 3. Did I only pay $12 for that? Probably, knowing that what I do is I see a game on sale, like Sniper Elite. Let's say it's on sale for $15. I will go to a website called How Long to Beat. I believe it's called howlongtobeat.com, but it might be called How Long to Finish. Maybe I search How Long to Finish, but it comes up How Long to Beat because somehow I screw those two up. I don't memorize what that is. But if it says that the base game is 10 hours to finish, okay, then for me it'll probably take 10, 12, and I'd be happy with paying $10 for that game. So that's probably where I started picking these things up. When Sniper Elite 4 came out, I skipped it and I bought this guy because it went on sale for $10. That's how that worked. So when Sniper Elite 4 was released, I backtracked into Sniper Elite 3 and 2, and then eventually I even bought Sniper Elite 1 because it was like $2.75 or $3 or something stupid. And then of course the Sniper. I ended up getting Sniper Elite 5, or actually playing that on Xbox Game Store, where I was paying $10 a month to access their games. I jumped in there and killed that whole game in less than a month. So that game was brand new, $60 price tag. I do not own it. I basically rented it for $10. I played through it, and it probably took me 10 hours or more. In Sniper Elite 5? I don't know. It's on. I have a playlist on YouTube. And then more. Sniper. I love sniping. And then more racing, zombies, Stalker, apocalyptic game, Star Trek. I think that's a free-to-play online game that a friend said, man, you're going to love this. If you like Elder Scrolls, try that. And I downloaded it, never tried it. Oh my god, Spec Ops The Line. One of the most disgusting, vile games you'll ever play. It's just really messed up. But it's in my. It would be in my top 20 or 40 top. It's way up there, dude. Highly recommend Spec Ops The Line. It's like the reality of war. You're just grinding through this environment and just killing people, and it's pretty graphic in how the people are dead and depicted. They're hung upside down, stripped naked, skinned. It's pretty brutal. I've played the game twice, so it's only a 7-hour game, or maybe I've only got 13 hours on this PC. I think that's my total time in all Steam history. So it probably is only a 7-hour game, but yeah, it's disturbing. It really makes you, it grosses you out. Just, the ugliness of war. And then Stock Car Extreme, there's a whole series of game stock car that I bought offline because you could get them direct from their website for like $10, but if you bought them on Steam, they were $15, some crap like that. Steep was pretty cool. That it was oh, that's the open beta. Yeah, I only played played 2.5 hours in the demo. It's a snowboarding game, but it ran out of interest real quick. Snow, Splinter Cell stuff is insane, very good. The Hunter, Call of the Wild, the Hunter Classic, I've put in very little time, 2 hours. Call of the Wild, 590 hours. I have Way of the Hunter on the Epic Game Store, I think, because it was cheaper, and I just don't care for it at all. Probably will never, ever, ever, ever play it. Thunder Wolves, interesting. I do love me some helicopter games, but yeah, I picked up. Oh my God, one of my favorite games of all time. 376 hours in Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ghost Recon straight up, kind of a precursor to this game, was this game, and I've got 23 hours in that, which I think was probably 5 hours of putzing around the first time and not liking the reality of it, then playing this game and enjoying the reality of it, even though it's, it's not Ghost Recon. And this is Ghost Recon Future Soldier, so maybe I have Ghost Recon straight up. Oh, instead of being labeled Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, it might be up at the top under Ghost Recon, but whatever, we skipped it. Hawks. Man, I really wanted to love that game. I love me some flying games, but didn't. It's very arcadey, and I didn't care for running around with a gamepad, and didn't have what do you call it? A stick and a yoke. So I've only played 113 minutes in that game. Rainbow Six Vegas 2, 34 hours. Well, that's before Steam was counting it because I had the CD and we played online for, I don't know, easily 100 hours, maybe longer, maybe 120 hours. We spent probably 2 months online with a clan, just pummeling each other. It was Vegas 2 was my first super favorite stealthy kind of. God, just what a great game. Really great game. Super fun single player also. I have played through it in single player, and that's, I think, where these 34 hours come from. I bought it again. That's what it is. I bought it on Steam because I loved it so much when I played it before as an earlier game before, I was really buying shit on Steam. And there was a period of time, probably the first 4 years of me, I got on Steam, but I was hell-bent on I want to own physical media. You know how that goes. You want to have that physical device or that physical CD. Know that, what if Steam goes out of business? Okay, well, we can see that's probably never going to happen. But they have withdrawn games from their store. However, those games are still available on the server because I am a buyer of those games. So I've been pretty impressed with Steam's legitimacy. Anyway, I backtracked and bought Rainbow Six Vegas. I played 17 hours in that. I've played 34 hours in Vegas 2, and I have not completed the game a second time. Well, I never completed the game the first time, because the first time I started playing, me and Reggie played this game to hell. Me and Reggie, my old Toka 2 racing buddy. An old semi-truck driver who got jumped in a parking lot, stomped almost to death. They found him several days after he had been beaten and left for dead, with broken legs. He had gangrene. He was diabetic. Anyway, they cut off his legs from the knee down. He was in a wheelchair. But he and I played Toka 2, and then we got into Rainbow Vegas 6. And that was both on CDs. That was physical media. So that was a long time ago, man. I wonder what year this game came out. It doesn't tell us here. It was released on Steam. In 2008, but it was around much longer than that on CD, on physical media. All right, so there's the Rainbow Six stuff, Splinter Cell, The Division. Oh my God, I have a love-hate relationship with the Division. I love the environment. I love the story. I love the I mean, hey, the voice acting and characters and the plot and stuff is good. I hate the bullet sponge. When I have to run through 3 magazines shooting a guy in the wherever I can hit him, I got to put 90 rounds into a guy to drop him. That's bullshit. And yeah, initially that's your little weak ass weapon, and then you have to upgrade. And there's so much micromanagement on the weapons. And even if you can get a headshot with a little wimpy ass starter weapon, a lot of times guy doesn't die. You shot him in the head and he doesn't fall down. Come on, man, that's like, I really got irritated with that. But then my buddies were playing Division 2 and it was stupidly cheap. So I bought that because now I could be on a team, right? And I joined 4 guys and they dragged me through different places where you get different upgrades and points, and that's how you get to buy more powerful weapons. And they're like, "Oh, you're gonna like it once you get more powerful weapons. You were just in starter level in the Division, and you were just getting pummeled by like I was super run and gun. They're like, no, you got to play more methodical and more strategic in Division. And okay, fine. So I pummeled. What's the word? I plodded along behind them. PLODDE. Plodded along behind them. Super slow progress. Picked up these items, blah, 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 blah. Killed a couple guys. Had to go back to camp to upgrade and sell the junk that I collected and upgrade my weapon. And I didn't care for the Division. I loved the environment. It was it was the best apocalyptic game I've ever seen. Now, Homeland Revolution is very good in that respect. But, well, it's very different than the Division. The Division is a little brighter. There's a little better lighting. But there's just as much clutter and junk and destroyed buildings. And, every building you go into, it looks like somebody rummaged through every drawer in the place, knocked over all the furniture, broke the TVs. It's just, it's a world, man. Division and Homefront Revolution are both apocalyptic shooters, and I just don't care for the bullet sponge behavior in the Division. I would love it. And maybe there is. Oh man, sorry, I got the hiccups. Maybe there is a mod for the Division that bumps it up to 1 shot, 1 kill. Or, cuts down the requirement to kill a guy by 50%. And they take about reducing that by about 80% to make that game fun. Anyway, you can't miss out on the Tomb Raider games. Just don't miss out on those. I recently replayed the 3 most recent, and after I got into the 3rd game, I remembered that there's this little tiny fishing village in the middle of, I don't know, Peru or the jungle of Guatemala or whatever. And it just, like, the game completely bogs down. You have to do everything out of that stupid village. Hang on. So it becomes really tedious. You go out and you do a mission, you got to find your way back to the frickin' village. So you're just going out on a trail, coming back on a trail. Although that trail is sometimes fraught with danger and cliffs and puzzles and climbing, and it becomes very tedious to go out and come back and then go do another mission. God damn it, you got to go out again, done that same thing, but now you've unlocked a door at the end of that trail, but you just ran that trail to get to that door. So it became kind of repetitive, and I haven't finished Tomb Raider. What is it? Underworld? No. What's the most recent one? Anniversary? Legend? No. Well, shit. Here. It was Tomb Raider, and then this Tomb Raider, and then what is the other one called? Oh, crap. It might be in a different game store. Yeah, I think I got that in a different game store. Oh, well. I haven't finished the 3rd installment, or the most recent release of Tomb Raider for a second time because I hated that frickin' village. And all the missions just ran you out and ran you back. But I'm kind of determined to try it again. All right, Valentino Rossi at Dirt Bike Game, Urban Trials. Undefeated. That had a lot of promise and ended up being boring. It's like a regular guy that can fly, and then started adopting powers, and it's basically a game demo. Kind of sucked. Ultimate Fishing, I don't think I've even touched it. Nope. The Alaman stuff, I have not touched either one of these games. Oh, I guess I launched it, see if I could stream it, and I decided that I'd have to practice first before I streamed it. Otherwise, I would fall down. Oh, here's Way of the Hunter. Okay, it's just not up there next to Hunter Call the Wild. It's not Hunter, Way of the Hunter. It's not Hunter Call the Wild or Hunter the Classic. It's Way of the Hunter. So I do have it on this game store, and pretty much we're getting to the pretty close to the end. The Witcher 2. Well, I bought The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, after insane reviews, and I finally got through Skyrim and decided that okay, I can tolerate me some RPG. It's a slow walk in the park type game, different than first person shooters and Counter Strike matches and stuff like that. And then, man, I fell in love with The Witcher 3, just living in the world and learning the characters and being them for a period of time. It was the great escape. Removes you from your real world. You get to totally, what is it called? Suspension of disbelief was like, fuck yeah, man. I'm going home tonight and I'm going to go kill some dragons. Although there's not really dragons, not many dragons to kill in The Witcher. But you're going to go kill some demons, or you're going to go find that girl that you've been hunting for. And man, I'll tell you, Witcher 2 was almost as just much more direct, a lot faster. If you notice, Witcher 3, I have 150 hours in that game. There's so many side missions and so much to do. It's just phenomenal. The Witcher 2, I blew through that in 28 hours. So it's a shorter, much more direct game, but it is absolutely the character you are playing and the side characters that you're familiar with from Witcher 3. So, I bought Witcher 3 because it was highly, highly reviewed and on sale. I'd have to go look up how much I paid for it, but I'm guessing I probably bought. I'm cheap, dude. I don't buy games that are more than 20 or 30 bucks. That's kind of my limit. And I expected, with Skyrim, I think I got Skyrim on a sale for $5. Then that included, they gave me Skyrim Special Edition free upgrade. And so I'm down with that. I think I got Witcher for 20 or maybe 30 bucks at the most. I don't think I would have paid more than 29 bucks. And then, anyway, you can go to Is There Any Deal and look at the historical low price for that game, and you can find Witcher cheap. In fact, I even have it for free on Epic Game Store because they gave it away, but it was the enhanced edition. And here I have the standard edition. Will I ever replay it? Probably, but if so, it's going to be on the enhanced edition that I have free from Epic Game Store. Anyway, Witcher 2 was great. Super short, 27 hours. And then The Witcher. I have doinked around in there for 40 hours trying to get through it. Like, I finished Witcher 2, just hell-bent for leather. I played the story missions, didn't get distracted on anything on the side. And maybe it didn't have a whole hell of a lot of side missions, but bam, 28 hours on that. But Witcher 1, I've pumped 40 hours in there trying to get it done. I think maybe I started it and played 10 hours or 6 hours and hated it. But then I'm like, man, I really want to get through this game. And the lore is there. It's interesting and fun, but so different. It's the battle mechanics are really, really rough. Anyway, like I said, if I see something cheap, I'll buy it. If it's under $5, well, look here. Even if I paid $5 for that game, I got 42 hours out of it. Even if I paid $10, that was worth it. Even if I paid $10 for The Witcher 2, which I didn't, it would have been worth it. I mean, I could go into my game history, and I could look up the price that I paid for those, but who cares? Wolfenstein: The New Order. That goes back to Wolfenstein 3D or Wolfenstein up here. Yeah, Return to Castle Wolfenstein. It's part of that series, but a whole lot later in history, or game technology. Same period of time, World War II, Nazi stuff in the history of. Now, I've also got to play the newest version of Wolfenstein also on the Xbox Game Store while I was paying a $10 per month subscription. So, pretty certain I spent 10 hours in that game where it's the two twins. Don't want to have any spoilers, but yeah, that was worth playing. This, I really need to get around to this. This sounds like it'd be really fun. Oh, it was fun. I spent an hour in there. Very weird game, different game. Oh, I skipped Trine entirely. Trine is a side scroller. There's another side scroller that I have that's I really love. It's just absolutely just beautiful. The art is fantastic. The purple, pink, blue, orange, red, green, aqua, just fantastic, beautiful environments, man. The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is, I think, part of. Oh no, it's similar to that game of that guy. Uh, I'm thinking Ethan somebody. No. Oh man, what's his name? It's a kind of slow game about a novelist, a writer who's writing a book. Well, it's it's not really a high action game, but it was fun enough to play. That's why I picked up this one. It looked interesting. All right, so we already oh, Watch Dogs. Man, I've tried to like it. 118 minutes in there, almost 2 hours, and just it's not Grand Theft Auto. Um, it's a lot slower a game, and I didn't like the electronics and the puzzles and the unlocks and the door locks and all that crap. World Conflict, 5 hours in that. Zero, oh, because this is Soviet Assault. I guess I started in a different version. Wreckfest. Wreckfest. Yeah, I didn't last long in that game. I do enjoy, like I said, Flat Out was fun back in the day. But this I only was you can only run it with a gamepad. I really wanted to use my wheel and didn't care for it. WRC 4, very similar to F1 Formula One Champions or Formula One Championship. I bought the 2010 edition, and I didn't feel any need to go on beyond that. I ran that game. I think I ran through a whole championship, and it was like, meh, what are they gonna introduce to make Formula One racing more realistic than what it was in 2010 in that game? WRC 4. I've read the reviews, man, and I've seen the comparisons, and a lot of people, oh, the graphics are so much better. Well, okay, fine. I'm okay with the graphics in WRC 4. 9 times out of 10, the FIA World Rally Championship is held on the same fucking locations year after year after year, just like American motocross. So, American motocross and MXGP don't interest me a hell of a lot unless they get a one-off sidetrack or a couple of, new for this year, we're going to be visiting Sweden or Peru or somewhere that's, yay, we get one new track with a whole game that they're asking $40 for. No thanks, I'm not going to buy that. But I do have WRC. I've had WRC probably 6, 8, and 10 on my wish list, and I've just continually deleted them and not purchased them. I'm waiting for WRC 10 to become affordable in my value system. Let's see what I played in here. Played 6 hours. Okay, I didn't finish the game. It was okay. It looked nice. It ran nice. It controlled nice. It was fun. I was playing arcade-ish. I usually start a game that I'm unfamiliar with in arcade mode, then I bump it up to semi-pro, then I bump it up to pro. You're gonna hear me saying this over and over and over in other games, but yeah, WRC4. I'd like to try another version, but I have a plethora of other games to play in the meantime. The WTCC 2010 pack is just a skin job and a car job, or a group of cars and a group of skins that instead of WTCC 8 or 2008, these are the liveries, the vehicles, liveries, and racer name changes from one team to another 2 years later, I think, is how that works. And I think that's free DLC when you have Race 07 plus the WTCC add-on. That was a free, I don't know if it's free. Let's go look. No recent activity, and it's not even on the store page anymore. Okay, so that's the thing. Finally, we're going to talk about Yakuza. Yakuza 0. Okay, Yakuza something, the dragon, was super highly reviewed. I watched some videos on YouTube and I'm like, oh man, cool. That is a really cool game. That looks like it'd be fun. I enjoyed Sleeping Dogs so much. I'm telling you, Sleeping Dogs is almost as good as Grand Theft Auto 5. It's Grand Theft Auto 5 with karate. Um, it's a great game. It's got great environments. You're in Hong Kong. You're doing some street racing or street driving and missions, and you're in. It's. I loved that game, dude. Sleeping Dogs is totally worth it. But then I didn't want to pay the full price for Yakuza Enter the Dragon or whatever the hell it's called. So, oh hey, look, I put Yakuza on my wish list, and then I saw all these other varieties of the Yakuza games. So I put all of them on my wish list. They're still on my wish list, but Yakuza Zero went on sale for like dirt cheap, and I knew that that would be the what's called the prequel, the the first game you play before you play all the rest, theoretically, and it is. It's the history of those two characters that appear in later versions of the game. So I tried Yakuza Zero and I hated it because it's all subtitles, dude, and you have to use a gamepad. There's no way you're gonna do the karate moves and combos with a keyboard if you are an old carpenter with, yeah, I don't know, arthritic fingers. I'm gonna blame it on that. But I had to use a gamepad, and I really dislike that. And you have to read subtitles because they talk Japanese the entire fucking time. It's so irritating to have to read the game, and I'm gonna have to read them all because I fell in love with the game. So in Yakuza, I spent 53 hours in there, dude. I got that game for so cheap. I probably paid less than $10. I guarantee I paid less than 10. Um, so after I actually thoroughly enjoyed that, I had all the others on my wish list, and they have come and gone on sale and off sale over and over and over again. But I want to pick them up in order, and I want to play them in order. So I have Yakuza Kiwami. That is actually the next game in the series. Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, and then came Yakuza 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and then the Dragon one. In fact, let's see. So I've got 0 minutes in Kiwami 2 because I haven't finished this guy. I've only been into that game for 2 hours because, man, you have to really drill down, sit down, have a beer, be ready to get through an hour or two of reading, listening to Japanese people talk while you read English subtitles, and fend off a bunch of you know gangsters. It is absolutely a stupidly fun series. I will give it that. I'm gonna bounce to the store page and let's just put Yakuza into here and have a look. There you go. Like a Dragon. Okay, that's down to $20. Guess what? If I had $20, I'd buy it. I don't want to buy until I finish some of these other games. I know that game will keep going on sale over and over and over, right? So it's on my list. I'll pick it up for $21. I guarantee I will play 21 hours. Like here, Yakuza 0. It's $4.99. Like I could go to my account and look up how much I paid for that game. But I played 53 hours. That game is a bargain. It made up for some of the other games that I bought and didn't play for an hour, $1 per hour. So anyway, that's my Steam library. That's my value system for a lot of gaming. Now Steam has automatically put things into these collections for me. Yeah, there's a lot more horror games in there than I think they're listing. They're not including Hunter Call the Wild and Hunting, or maybe I made those categories. Oh, these are your collections, not dynamic collections, correct? Okay, so let's see. Can we see dynamic connection or collections? No, but we could look at things, by their genre categorization, and let's look at what they call RPGs. I don't want to save it as a dynamic collection. I just want to see it. Why isn't it doing it? Okay, save as a dynamic. Guess I need to do that. No, leave the view unchanged. Wow. They're calling Bioshock an RPG. They're calling Batman an RPG. Come on. That's kind of goofy. I will be deleting those whenever I find it. But for all intents and purposes, we are done here. Thanks for watching, listening to the GameBrain.media PC Video Game Talk Show, Season 1, Episode 1. Just wanted to show you my profile. I've been around for 17 years in the gaming world. In fact, I've been much longer than that. Maybe next time I'll tell you how I started in 1978 on an IBM mainframe. Yeah, we had a dial-up rubber cup modem in the house, 1600 baud, that connected to an IBM mainframe in the city of Chicago, and I got to play text dungeon crawling and text football while my dad was running operations remotely on the weekend into the city on that modem. I got to sit there and look at a screen with little green letters, black screen, green letters, and would you welcome to something something football? Would you like to choose heads or tails to kick or receive? I clicked heads. They'd flip a coin. You win the toss. Would you like to kick or receive? So then I chose, receive. It says, you receive the ball. The other player has kicked off. It's like, it was the slowest, most boring game in the world. But when you're, 10 years old, I guess 12 years old, you get to sit there and look at a computer screen and read and click buttons and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's the first time I'd ever done it. And then, I guess later in life, we bought, or my parents bought Pong for Christmas. Or maybe it was the version of Pong that included Breakout, because we had both of those. Or maybe they were two separate machines. I think it was just Pong. And then Breakout came out, and Breakout included a version of Pong, I think. And then, of course, we went to, I don't know what came next, ColecoVision or Atari. Then what? Oh, then the arcades started opening up. Gala Lane's bowling alley remodeled and put in a big video game arcade with all those cabinet video games like Galaga and Joust and Pac-Man and tons of pinball, air hockey. Yeah, and then I spent a lot of my time at the gaming arcades. One was in the bowling alley. We had one closer to the house. When we were still riding bicycles to get there, we went to the close one. When we had cars, we went to the Gala Lanes, which is way across town. Anyway, that's the history of my video gaming in a nutshell. So, until Season 1, Episode 2, or Episode 2023 in the new year, that's it for now. Watch for some racing action coming up from me pretty soon. And until the next episode, or until my next video, GameBrain is gone.